Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do an example on using Laplace transforms in order to solve a differential equation. This one is going to be a little different because we're going to have to use completion of the square during the process of this. So let's get to it. Here's our differential equation. We have a second order differential equation where y is your dependent variable and t is your independent variable. We also have a set of initial conditions here that we're going to be applying to the differential equation. Okay, so let's have a look. So I'm going to write this out. Let me just rewrite the differential equation here. (13y equals to 0). So this differential equation is in your time domain, right? This is where your independent variable is t. We're going to be using the Laplace transform to take it from the time domain into our frequency domain. And the way we do that is we apply the transform to both sides of the equation, okay? Then the transform of this entire side of the equation is the same as the transform of the sum of the parts. So I can write that as the transform of the second derivative plus 6 times the transform of my first derivative plus 13 times the transform of y and the transform of 0. That's just going to be 0. Transform of 0, 0. Okay, so the Laplace transform of our second derivative is going to be a formula. So if I look on my sheet, right at the bottom here, you'll see I've got transform of a function, the second derivative. Well, this is the second derivative of a function. The transform of that is going to be this expression here, right? So I'm going to write that as s squared f of s minus s f at 0 minus f dash at 0. I'm just writing the formula straight down as from the sheet. Okay, we'll speak about the labeling of these variables afterwards. Plus 6 times the transform of the first derivative, which is going to be this one here. Alright, so it's going to be s f at s minus f at 0, and then plus 13, and that's going to be f of s, and that's just 0. Right? So now let me look at the notation used over here. So this is just your function at 0, right? This is the first derivative of your function at 0. And the labels that we're using here, in fact, your function is y, right? So you can write that f at 0 as just y at 0. So let me rewrite it like that. So s squared f of s minus sy at 0 minus y dash at 0, and I'm going to just multiply this out. 6s f at s minus 6y at 0 plus 13f at s equals to 0. Okay, and here we can now apply our initial conditions. So we have s squared f at s minus y at 0 is going to be 3. So we'll get 3s, y dash at 0 is going to be 7. Minus 7 plus 6s f at s. Y at 0 is just going to be 3. So that is going to be 6 times 3, which is 18. 13f at s, and all of that is equal to 0. right? So now we want an expression for f of s. So we're going to gather all the f of s terms and leave it on our left-hand side and put all the constant values and other terms on the right-hand side. So I'm going to have f there. So it's this one, and this one. Plus 6s f at s plus 13f at s. And I'm going to take minus 3s, so I'm going to have 3s plus 7 plus 18. Okay. And then f of s is the like term, the like expression in these terms. So I'll have f of s times s squared, 6s plus 13, and this is going to be 3s plus 25. Okay, that means that f of s is going to be 3s plus 25 over s squared, 6s plus 13. Okay, so now what we've done is we've taken the original equation, this one up here, right? We've taken it from the time domain where t was your variable, applied the Laplace transform to both sides, and we have found what that transform is. So this is the Laplace transform of the equation, and this puts it in our S domain, or the frequency domain, right? Your variable is S here. So once you've gotten this, you then want to get the inverse Laplace transform, because then you'll take it from f of s to f of t, or y of t in this case, right? Which is the solution to the differential equation. Okay, so let's do that. So we have our function f of s here is equal to this expression here. So when you find the inverse Laplace transform, you need to have a strategy. So we look at our denominator, right? And you see whether or not the denominator has the same form as anything on your table. Because what you want to do, if you're working with a table, you want to take it from f of s back to f of t, right? Which means that your function has to be in the form of one of these on the table. And the good starting place is your denominator. Here you've got a trinomial, which is like nothing on your table. So you want to ask yourself then, can you factorize? This one you can't because of the 13. Only factors of 13 is 13 and 1. It's a prime number, right? So we have to use completion of the square. If we complete the square, you are going to get that f of s is equal to 3s plus 25 over. So if we now look at our denominator, you will see you've got a bracket square plus 4. And you'll see on your table what you're looking at is one of these, either that one or that one, right? The sign is very important here. If that sign was negative, it would have been either number 11 or number 12. But it's going to be either number 9 or number 10, right? The second term can be written as 2 squared. So let's do that. 3s plus 25 over s plus 3 squared, 2 squared. Okay, so our denominator is in either number 11 or number 12 on our table. No, sorry, not 11 or 12, it is number 9 or number 10. Sorry, number 9 or number 10. So once you've got your denominator in the form that is on the table, you move to your numerator, right? So our numerator has two terms, one with a s term and one with a constant value, which is what we've got here, right? But your numerator has to be in exactly the same form, which means you need to have a 1 in front of that s, not a 3, right? So we're going to have to factorize that 3 out. So I'm going to take the 3 out. Let me just shift this up a bit. And that's going to be s plus 25 over 3 over s plus 3 squared plus 2 squared. Okay, so that's what our expression is going to look like. Okay, so now we are sitting with a form which is the same as this one here. Okay, but what you need to have is you need to have the second term has to match what's in that bracket in the denominator. Okay, so if I look at what I've got here, I'm just going to write this out. Let's spread it out a bit. Write this denominator. Right, I'm going to leave the S there, and I'm going to put this all the way on the side. Okay, so what I need to have in the first term is I need to have the exact same thing as that bracket, right? So if I look here, look again, then that S minus B must match what is inside of that bracket, which means that I need to have S plus 3 here. So what I need to have is plus 3, because if I cover that up, you see that numerator then matches the bracket in the denominator. Okay, but if I add a 3 in here, I change the value of this function. So the only way I can balance that out is to say minus 3 over there. Okay, so I can then split these terms up. So then I can say this is going to be 3 S plus 3 over S plus 3 squared, 2 squared, and this is going to simplify to minus 9 plus 25, 16. Right, that's going to be 16 over 3 over S plus 3 squared, 2 squared. So now, if we look at the first term, that is in exactly the same form as on your table, right? Because the numerator matches the bracket in the denominator, that first term in the denominator. So this one is fine. Your second one, not so much, right? Because if you now go to the numerator, you've got a constant in the numerator, which means you are looking at this one over here, right? You have a constant in the numerator, but that constant has to match what is in the denominator. So here we've got a 2 in the denominator, that's 2 squared, right? The a value here, that a value is 2, which means I need the 2 in the numerator as well, which means I can introduce it, right? So I'm going to say times 2. I have to compensate for that. So I have to say times a half, right? So then, let me just write this out. S plus 3 over S plus 3 squared, 2 squared, and that's going to be a half times 16 over 3, which is 16 over 6, 2 over S plus 3 squared, 2 squared, right? So now both of these terms are in the same form as on the table, which means we can now go from f of s to f of t, right? Or in this case, y of t. You can label it y of t, okay? So it's going to be 3 times this one here. The first term is going to be as number 10, right? So b in this case is going to be minus 3, and a in this case here is going to be 2. So we're going to have, if you look here, it's going to be e to the minus 3 cos 2t. So it's going to be e to the minus 3t cos 2t, 16 over 6. This here is going to be number 9 on my table. This one here, right? Again, b is going to be minus 3 and a is going to be 2. So it's going to be e to the minus 3t sine 2t, right? So then our final solution is going to be 3e to the minus 3t cos 2t. This is going to be 16 over 2. 2 into 16 is going to be 8e minus 3t sine 2t. Right? And that is the solution to this differential equation. Okay, I hope that video was helpful. Please let me know if it was. And I'll see you next time. Bye.